For the eyes, the pattern recommends reinforcing the fabric with interfacing. We're going to follow that recommendation. So you should see the marks for your eyes. Mine's a little hard to see on camera, but my mark's right there on the wrong side. And I'm going to put the interfacing on. Remember, the bumpy side of the fusible interfacing goes down on the wrong side. And then on my other mark, I'll put it there. I'm still using the tailor's hand with this round piece of fabric just because it's easier. And then I will hold the iron in place for about 15 or 20 seconds. Then remember, the key with fusible interfacing is to let that sit for about 2 minutes so it can cool down before you move it, so you get a good bond with your interfacing. Next, I'm ready to put in my safety eyes. There's lots of different sizes you can choose from, and then you need to make sure you get 2, 1 for each eye, and then the size for the backs that are correct and that fit it. So now I'll flip my headpiece to the right side where I should have also transferred my pattern marking. And then I'm going to make a hole in each one. So this is called an awl, and you just put it in the center of your mark and you push it through and make a little hole. This is better than using scissors because we don't want our hole to be too big that it would rip out. So you're just gonna use this pointed tool. Be careful not to poke yourself, it is sharp, and make a hole. And then when I make my second hole, if I marked it correctly, it should be even unless I sewed my seam off a little bit. So if I'm looking at my marks, I know it's hard to see on camera, and one dot seems off a little bit, I might want to adjust and change where I make my hole with the awl to make sure my little plushie's not gonna have lopsided wobbly eyes. So now after I make the hole, I should be able to just push the safety eye through. I chose ones that are kind of large, so I might have to work at it just a little bit. And then if you have to cut it a little bit, you can, but it's ideal that you don't. So before I get any scissors to try to make a little hole, I would go back with my awl and maybe just push that through more and try to make my hole a little bit bigger. I think that's gonna have done the trick, and push that through. And you do want a snug fit so that the eyes won't be loose and wobbling around. So there's the eye on the right side, and then the little plastic washer that goes on the back, it's kind of cup shaped, that it's rounded. So it will go on like this. So the cup's actually facing upwards, which seems kind of strange, but that's how they're designed and how they work. So it should look like that. And then I'll repeat with my second eye, again, making sure I place it level unless I want him to be lazy-eyed. Then when I'm done, I'll have 2 eyes on my plushie's face. And then on the back, I have the washers, again, facing upwards. Make sure that those are snug. The first ones I actually tried, I discovered it ended up being a little bit too big. So if they just come off really easy, that means they're too large for the size of eye you chose. So just trade it for the smaller size and then try that. And it should kind of, you have to use a little force to push it on and it should lock it into place.